Okay, I don't know why there's a problem with the YouTube recording, but let's get started here. So we are going to learn data analysis via Guru School. Okay, Guru School is basically a organization where we'll basically understand about Guru School in a while, where we'll try to understand how Guru School is going to help or reach there, where you can have a 100K plus job to start with. Okay, so to be on a job, you need to do certain things, and we're going to first understand what as a job aspirants we do. Okay, what whenever we start working, how to get this job as quick as possible and how to reach there. That's what we're going to discuss in a step-by-step manner today. Okay, so let's get started. So this is like data analysts will try to understand what is data, how we going to understand data, how we going to leverage this data to make sure we generate some solution. Okay, could you understand what I'm trying to say here?
Yeah.
So what we'll do, we'll basically start with the introduction so that I know how technical I need to speak. Okay, and you get my introduction as well. So let's get started. About Guru School first. We normally work with 6 pillars. That's our unique selling proposition. So what we do, we normally have a training of, oh man, this is again, I don't know why it's, okay, it's a 6 to 8 week training. What do you mean by 6 to 8 week training? 1.5 to 2 months, okay? And here what we're going to learn, data analysis. Well, I normally take 3-4 track for Guru School, and that's how we're going to basically learn it from here. Okay, so yes, 6 to 8 week training in data analysis. So here we are going to understand the data analysis in terms of uh, a job oriented course. Okay, so we are looking for data analysis from a job acquisition angle. Okay, and then when we complete this training, you'll get course completion certificate. Then we basically in parallel keep building our profile, keep building our resume with the resume preparatory session, which normally have on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, you might have seen the posting for resume preparatory session in the group, or the candidate counseling group. You are normally associated with two groups as far as Guru School goes, right? One with this data analysis and other with this consulting group, counseling session group. So there or in the data analysis, we normally get this posting and the links of resume preparatory session, which is a really great way to start, great way to work with, and this works in parallel. So don't wait for the course get completed. Start working on your profile, start working on your resume, start working on how you're going to answer the interview question also. Even I'll give tips and techniques whenever we start learning in a step-by-step manner. What are the questions normally asked? Okay, and we normally go a step by step with each and every topic. Then we have a bank of vendor question and answer preparation. Then we have an end client question and answer preparation bank, and we'll share with you. I also have some good uh, sharing in terms of these interview preparations. Then we have ongoing job project support for 6 months, so that if you miss anything in terms of you might forget, in terms of you might don't remember it correctly, you can ask me then and there, and we'll make sure you understand in terms of how we can basically solve the problem on job, at job, whenever you require us. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions on 6 pillars, whatever you couldn't understand?
Ravinder sir, I have a question because I am new for this field. I don't know what we are going to do in the data analyst. So, because how I can prepare my resume in simultaneously, it will be tough for me, right? So I don't have any idea about it. How I can manage for preparing that resume?
Ma'am, yes, good question. I don't know why do you think it's tough. First of all, I'm there for you, and the complete senior HR team is there for you to make sure you understand how to work on resume, how to work on your profile. Only you need to join there, and they'll guide you in a step-by-step manner. Okay, so there's nothing difficult, nothing tough. Data analysis is an initial job of a non-technical person. The technicality, whatever we require, are very small, and that we are going to walk with you on that thing. So never think in terms of toughness, never think in terms of it's difficult for you. Okay, let me come to that question of how technical you are in a few slides. But let's go step by step way where we will try to understand how Guru Schools can help you first, and then we normally go to a step by step progressive manner. Okay, so just hold on your question for at least couple of slides. You'll get all these answer in today's session. Does that make sure does that answer your question at least partially as of now?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Most welcome, no problem. Anybody else have any question as of now? Okay, I'll say I think of no. Let's go ahead. Now again, Guru School 6 pillars, instructor-led training. There's a complete interactive training. If you have any questions, any difficulty, please do ask. Don't stop yourself. And we're going to basically talk in English mostly. Otherwise, I can talk in Hindi, Marathi, Sanskrit, Urdu. So there are 5 languages on the table. If you want me to describe in any other language, please let me know. I'll be happy to share with this thing. Even I know a bit of Gujarati. Okay, but overall, whatever you require in terms of clarification of the given topic, please do ask. Don't stop yourself. Okay, so first, that's why we have instructor-led training. We also will do play some small videos where there are some good mentors who have explained it very rightly, very correctly, and we'll basically understand from them as well. Okay, there's another instructor called Prerna Madam who is going to also guide us during these sessions. Okay, and I'll guide you when she will be guiding you as a trainer and all those things. But first of all, we are just trying to understand how to help you in a best possible way. These training are for you, not for me, for you to grab a job offer, as simple as that. So whatever we need to look at interview as an obstacle. We need to look at interview as a stopping factor, and we normally try to address that interview in the most positive scenario. So please stop thinking this will be tough, this will be difficult. Think it this will be the most easiest thing you can do, as like eating a food. Do you think while eating a food, how should I pick up the food, how should I enter it into the mouth, how much time should I chew it, how much and after how many millisecond, minutes I should push it into our throat? Anybody of us do we think like that? No, right? Because we have practiced it so long, our mind does it on its own, like breathing. We don't think I need to breathe now. Breathe, breathe, breathe. No, no. It happens with the what they call subconscious mind. Okay, so we're going to practice data analytics also to make sure whatever we do, it just happens. So whenever interviewer asks question, you have to answer it then and there. Similarly, if you have any question as of now, please do ask. Don't suppress yourself in any way. After training, we get a certificate. This certificate you can put it on your LinkedIn, put it on Facebook, put it on your all social media sites where everybody will congratulate you, and even there are recruiters who are looking for certificates. Certificates is just a sheet of paper, nothing more than that, believe me, because certificate just validates you have attended the course. How much you have gained, that's altogether a different question. Am I right? Could you understand me what I'm trying to say here, madam?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Most welcome. Then we have something like resume preparatory. That's what I talked about. So resume preparatory session is basically we make a reference ready resume. So in case some recruiters ask for your profile, you can give it to them. Normally after interview, to join an organization, it takes 4 to 5 weeks. There is something called notice period and all those things, right? In those scenario, we normally, even if you get an offer, you don't have to wait to get the training completed. There are a good number of resources who got the job offer before completing the interview. Before completing the training. We are here to grab the job offer. We are not here to keep learning throughout our life. That's the foremost thing which we need to understand, right? And by that means we need to really make sure whatever we are learning, we need to implement in a practical manner, and that's what we're going to find. We're going to start with understanding case study, what data analysts do as of today, and what are the things which we need to learn. It can be like data analysis methods, it can be data analysis technique, some tools like Excel, Tableau, and some of these tools will have an overview with. Some of the tools like Excel will study in deep detail. Excel is a free tool. Excel, I think every computer has an Excel. Whatever computer, laptop, desktop you have to have Excel in that, right? And that's how we're going to work with Excel extensively. Please join this session via laptop, desktop, or some sort of a computer where you have a bigger screen so that you can practice then and there. Okay, joining from the phone at odd times is fine, but normally you should join through desktop, laptop, or whatever a computer where you can actually open Excel and work with it. Okay, then this resume preparation session, all these sessions, they clearly guide you how to speak to the client, how to speak to the interviewer, in terms of how to generate confidence, in terms of what are the techniques have you learned and how to put it, which words you shouldn't use, which word is really great to use, and so on and so forth. Then we have interview preparation, resume preparation, interview preparation, where we normally practice interview. We have good number of question banks, good number of videos where we'll basically try to address these interview questions or repetitive interview questions with a script, so that we are well prepared before interviewers starts asking the questions, in terms of the script, the points I need to stress on while answering those questions. Then the client interview. Normally, these vendors, they are they closely work with us. So these interviews are pretty light. But when you talk about client interview, it can be a tricky matter. And mostly in North America and Canada, client ask behavioral questions as well. Behavioral questions like, tell me what is your best strength, tell me what is your weakest what is your challenge in terms of behavioral aspect, what do you fear the most, and so on and so forth. Then we also have, as soon as you clear interviews, you normally start working. Now, on a day to day, like in a first day, you might find there's a new tool the company is using, and company haven't trained you. So what we'll do, you, me, we sit together for hour and a half, and basically try to understand that tool. So whenever the next day you start working there, you'll understand the tool and you can start working, at least show to the client that you know the tool by clicking here, there button and menus and all those things. Okay, so this way we progressively make sure whatever job offer we grab, we stick to it, we closely work with it. Okay, and that's why we have first 6 months project support, which is included in this, right? So these are the 6 pillars which basically help you to grab the job offer and basically start working. That's the prime intention here. Prime intention is not to distribute gyan unnecessarily. We don't want to keep learning. We want you to start earning. So earning is the main target here of all these 6 pillars. If you can't start earning, everything is just the waste. Could you understand the basic aim and basic lookout? Anybody have any question? You're all ready to join, right? To start working. Anybody here who don't want to work? Great. That's really good. So let's walk towards that in terms of how we can get started working. Now here there's another slide on the 6 pillar plus various associations of a guru school. I'll just skip this thing and I'll move on to me. I'm Ravinder Pandey. I have around 28 years of experience, bachelor's in computer, MBA in finance, LLB. I'm doing LLM right now, and I'm also working on my doctoral thesis. I have total 18 years of corporate training experience in 17 countries, total 20 of years experience in IT specifically. I'm a PMI certified, Agile certified, PCA implementer, cybersecurity certified, Internet of Things, robotics, data science, so on and so forth. Okay, so there are a good number of technologies I normally worked with, and I'm still working with. Then there's a madam, Prerna madam, who is also have 18 years of experience. She's working with good number of multinational banks, and she have a quite good practical approach. You might find her more of a theoretical, so you ask some practical question. But Prerna madam have really great practical experiences, and she also have various certification and awards to her credit. So we too basically are going to work with you closely in terms of solving all technical queries, technical problem, and make sure you can understand what is data analytics and who can start working in the data analytics field anywhere in North America or Canada. Okay, now let me take a step further. Now here, rather than that, let's first try to introduce ourselves, right? You know about me. Okay, so let's start understanding what know and what you want to learn. What are your expectations from a data analyst? Who want to start first? And let this be an interactive session. Okay, so we should talk. We should keep talking. Yes, Ahil madam, please go ahead.
Sorry, sir. Actually, my name is Jaya Lakshmi. Due
Fine.
to some constraint, I am logging in my son's laptop. That's why it comes with I here. But
That's fine.
my name is Jaya Lakshmi.
Yes, please go ahead. So what have you done in terms
Yeah.
of, have you worked anywhere, or where are you from? Where are you in North America? Have you worked anywhere
Actually,
before
I'm
that?
an
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, I'm Jaya Lakshmi. Right now, I'm in Minnesota in USA.
Wow.
My education background is MSc Computer Science. In
Wow.
India, I used to work as a test engineer in manual. So after my marriage, I didn't continue my career because at that time I need to take care of my families and kids also. So
Mm,
now I want to continue my career. That's why I started to start with the data analytics. So
sure.
yeah, that's all about mine.
Okay, that's really great introduction. From the QA or testing, this is a kind of new field. In testing also, we do verify data points. Could you recall, ma'am? So this work this way. So you normally associated like the data to be inserted in a database and so on and so forth. So like you were playing with data. Normally, whatever you do in IT specifically, or even in a day-to-day life, we play with data. Think about making tea or coffee in the morning. So what we do, get up, either you brush your teeth first, or you normally put a water and a kettle on the gas and get it started so that the water should start to boil. And in the meantime, you can cleanse your teeth and face, and then put some tea powder afterwards after the water start building, right? So here all we talking are about data points. So we should have pot ready, we should have water ready, we should have gas ready, we should have the toothpaste, toothbrush, and everything ready, right? For all these things, we need to make sure all the data should be handy and should be efficiently there with you whenever you need it. That's the basis of data science, data analytics. To analyze, we need to have that data ready. To do something, we need to collect some data, we need to process some data out of the process. Does that make sense? Is it simple enough?
Yes.
So this way, we progressively keep learning. Okay, Govaya madam, could you please go ahead?
Yeah, I'm Gaumya. I just completed business administration, and after getting married, I'm just being a housewife, and I'm having a child. I'm having a toddler, 2 year old, so I'm just
Uh-huh.
managing him now. So I'm
Wow,
living in
that's
Connecticut.
cool.
Yeah.
Year. I know I do have twin girls.
Wow, that's great.
So you know how
Yeah.
challenging. And 2 year is the
Yeah.
best, what you can say, age to be really busy, because they started understanding what is what, and they are normally always looking for putting everything in their mouth, right?
Yeah, and you
Yes.
need to be double careful with them
Oh
because
yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. As a business analyst, right? You might have understood what is business and what is analysis. Now, in within also business analysis, we do collect requirement. So requirement is the data there, and here we're going to go a step further and analyze that data. So why we have collected that? What is inferencing it to? So whatever data you collect, what does that data means to a business people? That's what business analysts do, right? So we are trying to make sure whatever data we have collected, how it is interpreted for a given business, and that's how the business analysis works. So business analysis, you can think as a subset of a data analysis or vice versa. But whenever you talk about data analysis, we are normally try to do more of a number crunching, more of profound data understanding in terms of how this data is going to help the business to make money, and so that they can also pay my salary. And this way we progressively either rearrange, recalculate, build some good graphs, build some good presentation techniques, and so on and so forth as far as data analysis goes. This is what the data analysis is all about, right? And so we have basically actually started learning data analysis in this whole introduction process as well. It's that simple. Okay, now let's go to Devanshi
Yeah,
madam.
excuse me.
Yeah, no
Um,
problem.
Yeah, I just completed business administration. Not,
Uh-huh.
now I'm not related to BA. I just completed business administration. So,
As a business analyst post, that's what you're talking about, right?
yeah, business administration I completed.
Oh, sorry, pardon me. I have heard business analyst. Pardon me for that. Okay, so even in business administration, we do fill around data in terms of how to administer business. What branch of the business we normally have to address, and we should have the correct access and correct collection of data to make sure I do my job correctly in the least possible sense. And that's how data analysis is going to help us out in our day-to-day life as well. We're going to learn some good tools so you can how to control your expenses. That will be my first project, first hands-on experience for you, how to control your expenses. So how to analyze, how to collect data, how to clean data, and how to align it for the solution of our problems at hand. That's what we're going to learn. Okay,
Okay.
anything else you want to add?
No, sir. No, no, no. Thank you.
That's good, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Devanshi ma'am, could you please go ahead?
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you. So my name is Devanshi Patel, and I'm living in Texas right now, and I'm studying in third semester in Master in Computer Science. And I was an Android developer in India, and
Wow.
actually this is new for me too.
Mhm.
So I'm really interested to in data analyst.
If you worked on Android, then this will be the cakewalk for you.
Yes.
Development is a task, right? Because in development, you need to understand the design, the architect, and then developed accordingly. Here, what we are talking about, let's say if a boss comes to you and asks you, could you please tell me how the sales will look like in this month? So what he's asking you just a trend analysis. And we're going to learn what do you mean by trend analysis. Trend in the sense, you talked about fashion trends all the time, right? These fashion trends can be how in the similar time last year the users have required some sort of a cloth. So if you go something like winter, right now winter is coming, so whenever you enter winter you try to buy some cold clothes which have many layers. In North America or Canadian cold region, there's a big fight in terms of fighting the cold as far as health goes. So you need to be prepared well in advance to make sure before the cold hits your body, you have to have insulated in a good way. So I'll make sure my heater is working, the gas connections are okay, and if you have electrical heater, then those electrical heaters are working and all those things. I'll check them before actually start believing it'll work for me kind of scenario. So how do you verify that? You might have some data points to be collected, like do we have the connections in place, do we have the respective what you can say bill paying type of scenarios and all those things set up, and so on and so forth. So we also check out these things and validations and verification for whatever data required or the processes required. So we normally play with the data and the processes, and that's how the data analysis is basically a process where we analyze the data in hand and to solve our questions, to get the answers of a respective challenges in day-to-day life, day-to-day business. Okay, and this is how. So this will be a kind of cakewalk for you. Means you can happily do these things because see, development is a bit of, there are many unknowns, right? You to try permutation and combination. Here, everything is in front of you. That's why this is easy. So you have to just fiddle around. You have to just analyze the current data with you and then try to find out the answers. If not, then you start data collection. It's a cycle which we need to complete as far as data analysis goes. So this is really easy. This is not at all a difficult. Even it's much easier than business analyst also. Business analyst, you need to plan too many meetings. You need to talk to this client, talk to that client, try to understand his vision, mission for a given problem, and try to collect requirement from it. For as far as data analyst goes, you just have data with you. If you don't, you go to a place where you can grab that data and start working it. It's as simple as that. This is not a people dependent process. Okay. Yes, as a data analyst, you might have to collect some requirement. So at certain jobs, you might have to plan those meetings couple of times, but not as detailed as business analyst. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Anything
you.
else you want to add, ma'am?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Yes. Rini, madam, could you please go ahead?
Hi, sir. Yeah. So my name is Rini, and I hold a bachelor's degree in information technology. And back in India, I've worked as a business analyst. And same story, after I moved to United States, due to some personal reasons, I couldn't continue with my career. And I decided to choose this career, this field is because I'm pretty comfortable with SQL and databases and reporting tools because even as a business analyst, also I have worked, created dashboards and reports. So that was one of the reason I chose this field. And I know that it is one of the most in demand field or
Yes.
career right now. And because I have like a bit of career gap and I wouldn't say that it is not technical, but it's less technical compared to data science and other fields. So I decided like I'll start my career, I'll start my path as a data analyst and then gradually move to become a data scientist or something else. Yeah.
Wow, thank you, ma'am. Really, ma'am is going to help us throughout this training. Believe me, because you work with SQL, you work with various database and all those things. Here, we normally retrieve data from database. There can be legacy database, like a database which is 30-year-old, 20-year-old, and so on and so forth. But still, yes, we play around with data, we retrieve data, we process data, we build some trend analysis, this analysis, that analysis. There are a number of analysis which we're going to learn, if today not in the if today possible, otherwise in the next session. Okay, normally we plan this session for 1.5 hours. If anybody wants to go early, we can close this session early also. So please don't stress yourself out. Okay, but please make sure, if you can't join, please have a look at the recording. Every session is recorded. Some of the session I normally tend to make it public. Some of the session we decide like it's not really great to make public because of either personal question and answer, or we might stray away from topic also due to discussion, and these things do happen. Okay, because we are here to clarify our doubt rather than keep learning. This is more of a job oriented session. Okay, and as Rini ma'am have a great experience in SQL database, she knows a way where we can basically create or generate these data. That's the first things which we're going to learn whenever we complete this introduction. Here what we are trying to do, how to get the data, how to retrieve the data, or how business directs you to get the data from which are the sources, and then we process the data. And we're going to learn what do you mean by we process the data, and what do you mean by how do we generate solution. She also talks about data science. Data science is a scientific field where we normally analyze with various statistical method, various engineering ways. We talk about various, patterns. It can be data patterns. It can be more of a statistical pattern, more of a engineering or technical way to analyze. But when it comes to data analysis, these are non-technical way to analyze. We will understand the name of technical ways to analyze, but we normally don't go there. So this what we normally say as stepping stone for the data scientist. So if you want to be a data scientist and you are not a technical person, you should start with data analyst. Data analysts normally get a salary above and beyond of 90K to 150K. That's our experience. But if you look at data science normally starts with 200K plus salary per annum. They can go up to 300, 350K because they know this engineering way, they know this technical way. They also know some sort of a programming like Python, C programming, Python programming, cognitive programming, and there are in number of ways how to do a data scientist programming. Data scientists are basically a level of a solution architect rather than a programmer. Data analysts are normally even a step down from the programmers. We don't generate programs, we present data, we collect data, we clean data, we align data, and we present data. So as simple as that, right? So that's what we're going to learn, which is really a simplified way of analyzing the things at hand and plan your future, plan your next day with that. And that's how these data analysts are. This is simply like you are trying to build a to-do list, might be in the morning, in the evening. If anybody of you have read a book called Seven Habits of Successful People, it's really a well works book, and if you get a time, please do read. What these guys do, they do analyze the current situation, current data point, and plan the next few hours repeatedly every day, every morning, or every night as per their convenience. And this is what they do, they build a to-do list. So what are the things I need to do tomorrow? What's the first priority? Well, make tea, make coffee. Yes, these are the generic things, and these are repetitive tasks. But above and beyond of that, what are the things I need to achieve, I need to complete? So what I'll do, I'll make a to-do list. To-do list can be a simple thing which you can write on your mobile with a text app, or there are good number of to-do apps as well with your mobile. So you can either download something like that and build a to-do list where you can plan your day much better in a much thoughtful way. Okay, and this is a kind of one of the most primitive data analyst techniques. Do you understand this? Anybody of us make to-do list by any chance as of now? No. Then what I'll suggest, start making to-do list. After this session, please spend 2 or 3 minutes. It doesn't take more than that. Try to build a to-do list where we normally chalk out like what I need to do tomorrow. Well, I need to make tea, coffee. That's generic thing. Now, what I have to prepare for food. Let's say I need to prepare for food. Whatever vegetables you have at your disposal, and there might be some precursor to the cooking as well, like you need to soak some dal, you might need to have something cut with details, like some vegetables need a detail cutting, or some they takes more time to get it cut, rinse and everything, and prepare for the vegetable preparation. So for that, how are we going to tackle that, and so on and so forth. So you can plan this thing ahead, you can plan them efficiently. Even there are ladies I have seen, they plan a complete week in terms of vegetables. They go to the market, and before going to the market, they build a list. This list basically guide them what to purchase, what not to purchase, depending upon season, depending upon the likings of your family, and so on and so forth. This is what we call proactive planning. As a data analysis, this is one of the most interesting thing we do in our day-to-day life implement. Does that make sense to you? Anybody have any question as of now?
No, sir.
That's really good. Now let's try to understand why we do need data analyst, right? As you can see on the screen, we have number of I think 8 odd things connected to the overall middle circle. Now these things are like retail, banking and finance, media, entertainment, healthcare, education, government, transportation, insurance, and there could be many others as well. Here we are trying to find out new data source. Now if you look at near past, like 2 year 3 year down the line, 2 year 3 year earlier, there we have a kind of blast in basically data generation. So there are now so many instruments which generate data, data automatically while you're working. Something like banking and finance. Let's think about banking and finance. Previously, means if you look at our previous generation, they used to go to bank at least once a month. They used to go to bank might be twice or thrice a month, but today we normally do our banking transaction almost 3 or 4 times a day. You normally use some digital payment methodology like Paytm, this, that and other, to pay for our day-to-day expenses and all those things. Previously we used to do it with the plastic cards in North America specifically, because North America is one of the most advanced payment industry. Okay, so normally these North American people, they use a greater and advanced way to pay these things. Even in North America, there are a good number of stores where you can just pay with NFC, near frequency communication. So when you walk into the store knows Ravindra Pandey have walked in. and then the computer in the store analyzes what Ravindra normally purchase. Okay, so he will go to aisle number 3, he'll grab some, this thing, some that thing, and he might do some exceptional thing also. So they track behavior. They track behavior of Ravindra Pandey to make sure next time they can serve him better. So how they can serve him better? So whenever Ravindra Pandey was planning to join the stores, there should be an assistant or there should be a robot who start collecting things before Ravindra Pandey even enters the store. So when they saw Ravindra Pandey's car parking, coming to the park, the robot at the store start grabbing the things for Ravindra Pandey. And by the time Ravindra Pandey enters the store, he might have 3-4 things already collected in the baskets, and the robot hands over the baskets to the Ravindra Pandey. So his half work is already done. Now he have to do the work which is exceptional to his day-to-day life. Like today, he might want to have some wine to go with the dinner. Might be a white wine. So what he'll do, he'll go to the wine cellar, he will go to the wine aisle and grab a light wine and also add it to the baskets. Now this is an exception. These things do happen. So next time, whenever that robot thinks of purchasing something, the robot might add this wine to his baskets already, and this way his actual purchasing done in a seconds rather than in a minutes or in hours. This is how these guys are helping us day-to-day life in couple of stores in mostly Western Shore. In a banking also, whenever you go and visit bank, well, I haven't visited my bank from last 1.5 years. Because everything do happens online, right? Even in North America, everything do happens online. You just open an account and that's it. The bank sends the cards, whatever you required, on your home. And with these digital money, you don't have to fight with something like a mutilated currency, something like credit cards expired and blah blah thing, because a banking executive will talk to you proactively saying, here Ravindra, your card is getting expired in the next month by 15th, so should I put a new request for card renewal? Then you say, yeah, please do that. And yes, then that guy or executive will tell you like, there'll be a $1.5 deduction for the new card, and these administrative charges, that administrative. You say, oh, yeah, okay, no problem. So your card automatically get delivered to you before expiry, so that your purchasing doesn't stop for these logistical challenges. That's how nowadays every banking and finance closely work with us in terms of the data generation, in terms of understanding these data points and proactively doing the things for you. Does that make sense to you? Anybody want to share their personal experiences on this? How life is being changing for past couple of months, years? Have you experienced this number of data points being increased on your day-to-day life? And believe me, we haven't reached to the Facebook and the Twitters and those part of the worlds right now. But you have felt, right? The data points have been increased in multifold.
Yeah, when we are using Amazon, so first, we will add everything in the cart. But nowadays, if we add and we just deleted the items, but every time when we log in, it shows it's like, no, there are some other items related to that with the comparatively cheaper than that, the one
Right.
which we looked. So it's changed.
This is also kind of trend analysis, market survey, and user behavior or the customer behavior and approachment by Amazon. And we'll study, we'll not study Amazon, we'll study Netflix as a case study, even Walmart's famous case study. That's what we're going to learn. How these people, they track your business, they track your purchasing habits and how they make yours more easier or more prone to work with them in terms of their strategies of selling product. See, Amazon is a trading company, so whatever they can earn more profit, they will basically guide you for that, because they want to earn profit, right? This is how these models are built. And even if you feel it's a cheaper or economical, it might be something to do with the expiry date which we need to check out. It might have to do something with the degraded quality of item as well. But this is not always the case. So there could be really great suggestion given by Amazon, Netflix, Walmart, and all these electronic stores, or rather I will say digital electronic store, which normally sell their products online. And how do they do these things? They try to analyze your behavior, last visit, last to last visit, and so on and so forth. Now, when it comes to social media, if you put a photo of your what you can say pet on the social media, the Amazon will try to understand how this pet is being basically being fed, being given the nutritious feed, or what is his or her favorite feed in terms of that pet. So let's say if you have a dog, or if you have a rabbit needs some specialized nutritional food, which is available across North America, not a challenge, but still it's not a very regular thing, right? So for those type of specific animals, there are some special foods now shipped across to your house within few hours, within few days, by these vendors. And how they know? Because of your social post, because of your LinkedIn, well, not LinkedIn, you don't put your paid photo on the LinkedIn, but yes, you do put it on a Facebook, you might put it on a Twitter as well, or any other social media as well. So this way, these guys know what all you own in terms of pets, if at all you own any, and they can basically target for their food supplements, their vitamin supplements, their medical checkups, and all those things as well. This is how the consumer behavioral trend analysis is one of the most important data analysis technique we're going to learn. Is it simple enough? Consumer behavior data analyst. Who said data analysis is difficult? This is one of the most prominent we used a technique in terms of enriching our business. The more you know about your customer, the more you can basically sell him things, sell him or her the things what he or she wants, and even your business gets increased in multiple from such customers knowing for such customers repetitive habits. And that's how we normally help our business people, our top boss, our company to make more money and earn more, and so that they can have better salary for us next month, next year, and so on. In case of media and entertainment, as I talked about, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and there are n number of media services, including YouTube. Similar, the way Madam have explained, if even you go to YouTube and liked let's say old song of Lata Mangeshkar and Rafi, next time whenever you log into the YouTube might show you the most listened video, most favorite video of others within your list to play, like old Lata Rafi sad songs, Lata Rafi happy sang, and so on and so forth. This way even YouTube wants you to be happy, to be more involved with the YouTube customer behavior programs or customer behavior trend analysis. These are the most primitive analysis we're going to learn, and we're going to understand how you can build these type of analysis with the simplest tool like Excel. And that's the fun of it. That's the most important part of it. And by doing this Excel model, you're going to earn a good salary. And that's what we are targeted for. Does that make sense to you? Now, do you think anybody thinks data analysis is difficult? Anybody?
No, sir.
You could understand what I was saying, right? Or anything which I need to explain again? Hello? Can I get an answer? See, these are interactive sessions, so unless you interact, it's difficult for me, right?
Yes.
So please do answer. Anybody thinks it's difficult to learn data analysis as of now?
No, we
No,
got a
sir.
little idea.
No, no, sir.
So this is what we need to understand. Data analysis is really easy. It's almost neck to neck in terms of business analysis, you can say, but it's much more easier than business analysis because we don't plan so many meetings. We don't have to really bang our head on difficult people. When you are business analysis, you normally try to gather requirement by planning a meeting. There you might need to work with some difficult people. In data analysis, you just collect data. You might have some difficult source to collect data. That's the worst you can have. So you might need to learn some new command, how to retrieve data from that source, like madam talked about MS SQL. Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we'll throw some light on that also, how do you collect data. But normally, to collect data, you normally send a mail to either database administrator nowadays, or you send a mail to a data retrieving party, because these data are very secure. They are more restricted in terms of access, or even for that matter read options. So you need to either approach a party in terms of, hey database administrator, I need the data of so and so consumers to understand how the trends are moving, and how we can infer it in terms of a business requirement the next level, or what items should I order proactively. That's what we need, and we get the data by either email, or that person will give you an access to a something called Excel sheet or a CVS file. CVS file is also kind of Excel file. We'll learn about this file system as well. So there are technical things. It's not totally non-technical, but these things are really easy, or will make them easy. That's my promise. That's my commitment, and that's how we're going to learn in a step-by-step manner how to do analysis, how to collect data, how to clean data, how to align the data for our solution, and then present it to a business people. This is as simplest as it gets, and this is, as you can understand, is really a simple thing, rather than people talk about many technical buzzwords. But yes, for interviews we need to learn these buzzwords, like cleaning the data, aligning the data, or augmenting the data, and so on and so forth. We will learn these things step by step. I don't want to frighten you, but still I want to give you a complete picture what is data analysis all about, and how we're going to do it. As simple as Excel. So yes, we're going to do lots and lots of hands-on practice with Excel. Okay, most probably in our next session we'll start learning Excel in a step-by-step manner, where we'll try to understand what you mean by row, record, attribute, column, cell interaction, and so on and so forth, or the entities, non-entities, and so on and so forth. Okay, but right now we are just trying to understand the analysis process as a whole, and we have done with banking and finance, media and entertainment. In media and entertainment, whenever you watch a movie, it might be with a science fiction, romantic movie, or crime series, or a comedy, the Netflix of the world, the Prime, Amazon Prime of the world, note these things and categorize your behavior as a customer. So Ravindra likes to watch science fiction movies. Ravindra likes to watch comedy movies. Ravindra likes hard rock as a music, and these behavioral patterns are stored with these database servers of Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, and the whole 9 yards of it. So this way, media and entertainment industries have been benefiting from the data, from the data analysis in a great way, or rather, there are good number of services like Netflix who heavily depend on such scenario. Now Netflix is in a really bad patch, or their business is going down in good amount of regions. So they are struggling. So they are still improving their data models. So we'll understand how to build these data models. Okay, then we talk about healthcare. So healthcare is a data industry. Why? Because every person have a challenge in terms of his health. It can be as good as you have put on more weight, or you couldn't put on weight, or you normally feel quite a good amount of cold and the winter is on the doorstep. So how do you proactively perceive that my health will not get deteriorated further? So which type of medicine or which type of multivitamin supplement I should take, I should consume, so that my health is uptight whenever the challenging times come. Even during the COVID period, the distribution of a medicine for a given climate, for a given temperature range, for a given challenging customers are normally aligned with these models, and we have good number of data models available of these COVID medicine distributions, their hierarchies, their deployment, rather the most efficient deployment, how we can leave this COVID medicine with a good helicopter and drop it to a remote place. Because in North America, there are quite a good number of remote counties where we have a very few individuals staying there, like in the vicinity of 50 or 60 families staying in the remote place in between Midwest, or something like that. So there basically supplying this medicine was a great challenge, which is solved by the data analyst. And that's how data analysts now are at a really great level, really good elevated level. So getting a job as a data analyst is easy within these few months. So that's what we are targeting for. We should ride the wave, right? As they say in English. What do you mean by ride the wave? Whatever is, positive in life, whatever is coming your way in a positive sense of your life, like you can grab the business opportunity, please do grab and start working with it closely. Get yourself aligned, get yourself change, challenge yourself and start working there. Not everything is difficult, believe me, in life we have to just walk a few steps and the world will be ours. And that's how I look at it as far as data analysis goes. This is one of the most simplest things to learn as of now, because data is everywhere, be it a healthcare, be it something like media, be it the social engineering, means the social side, be it something like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all those things. These are the social side where we gather the behavior of a good customer, and then we normally plan it out. Similarly, in education, finding the right track was a challenge earlier, like how to analyze a typical person for a track. Is he going to be a technical person? Is he or she is going to be a non-technical person? Does this person have a leadership traits? Does this person will be happy in a job where he does some easier things and get it paid? It can be a bit lesser, but still the life is really satisfying that way. Or how to achieve satisfaction with a given condition. This is what we normally fiddle around in terms of data analysis, specifically for educational domain. Now these different boxes are called domains. What do you mean by domains? A typical various different type of businesses which basically capture a specific way of working. Like if you're working in an education domain, like we study, right? So we work in an education domain. Our teacher, our professor, our guides, they basically study our behavioral in a either data analyst way, data science way, or they try to observe you. And in the previous good old decade, every teacher, every mentor used to observe you and collect data points unknowingly. But now we do it knowingly. We collect these data points in our system. So universities have a good amount of behavioral data as far as each and every student goes. They have a good amount of even background information, like how many siblings Ravindra has. Okay, 2 siblings. Then are they technical in nature? Could they get enrolled with our university for further learning? Then let's fish this customer. Every student is a customer for a university, right? Because you pay fee, you gain knowledge. And for gaining knowledge, you might have to attend lecture, you might have to read some book, you might have to go some computer based training as well. Now all these things are planned depending upon your behavior, depending upon the way you want to learn, the way you want to basically align with your hobbies, align with your thought process, align with your likings specifically, and then go and learn that subject. That's how education industry is the most benefited, other than media and entertainment, where they've started gathering these data points, and they are suggesting the students, suggesting the incumbents, suggesting their consumers in a much better way than we used to do in couple of decades back. Could you understand this? At our learning time, at our schooling time, there were big amount of challenges, because even we couldn't express our likings for a different subject, different stream. But nowadays all these education patterns, educational program will present you with the your liking in terms of this is what you did, and that's how we feel that this is the right track for you kind of scenario, with a complete detailed analysis. This is what the data analysis is all about. Simple enough, right?
Yes, sir.
Now next comes to the government. Government is one of the most what you can say disciplined body in terms of gathering data of each and every citizen, and they have to serve good number of citizens. For that, it's a real volume game. So normally we are talking about many petabytes of data. Petabyte is a kind of size of a data which is a huge. Normally a petabyte data can have a city like New York's every citizen which is actually residing there with their address, phone number, the number of family member and all those things. I'm just trying to tell you in a layman's term right now. We're going to understand the data volume sizing type of solutions after a couple of sessions. Okay, so data volume sizing means how much a city like, let's say, Pittsburgh, or city like St. Louis, how many incumbents are staying there according to our census. Well, in St. Louis, the last count which I have heard was around 2 years back, was around 18.5 lakhs. So 18.5 lakhs families are staying in the St. Louis region, where they have around 9 counties. Counties, right? So these 9 counties, they have their individual data, individual descriptions with family name, which we normally call as a surname in India. So you have a family name, you have a number of family members staying in a given county, their house, their size, their income, their expenditure. If they are on some governmental subsidiary or governmental benefit scheme, then of course that benefit scheme and everything. And these all collected data is with a local body, local municipal bodies or local county heads. Now these data are to be analyzed in terms of if there is any problem comes, like a tornado. So who all are basically equipped with something like better house, sturdy house? What all houses are really in a bad shape? They can get collapsed, or they can basically can get damaged left and right whenever this tornado hits our city. So they can plan such scenario much proactively. And believe me, in case of Florida also, there are proactive measures taken for the tornado which hit in the last week. Everybody knows that. Anybody from here, from Florida? No. Okay, no problem. Hill ma'am, are you from, sorry, Jaya ma'am, are you from Florida?
No, sir, I am in Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota is like north of Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Kalamazoo. I've been admitted there, means I have processed my admission for doctoral thesis in University of Kalamazoo. So I visited there a good number of times. It's really great place, and now it's going to get colder pretty fast, right?
Yeah, that's good. That's true.
But yes, really, great for skiing, really great for snow sports and all those things. I
Yes.
still remember there. It's really great place. And I believe you must be started, your proactive measures for these, snowfall and all those things already, right?
Yes, already the winter also started.
Oh,
It's
it's
going
already
to, yeah, it's cold now.
so man. What was the temperature range there now?
But luckily today we had 65. But tomorrow
Oh,
also we will have a good weather. But after Wednesday, it's going to drop.
oh
Comes
man.
to 47, 50 like that.
Very lovely. So it's challenging, but yeah,
Yes.
it's a way of life, right? We are stationed there, so we have to have get these things sorted out. And for that, we might have these data points like temperature range, the wind, the precipitation, and all these 3 or 4 data points make us sure how tomorrow's day will be. And you normally, whenever you get up, these forecast based on this trend analysis. So how much temperature range was there in the last year same day, or last to last year same day? So it's like 20 degree, it's like 15 degrees. So this thing continues, and this is what we call trend. So we analyze these trends for a given region, for a given county, for a given challenging scenario as well. If weather patterns have been disturbed in terms of wind blowing this way, that way, or the wind path have been disturbed due to any scenario, then we might have some tornado, we might have some challenging scenario. And we can predict this earlier because of all these data analysts, all these data scientists, they work together to make sure how to prevent, they make sure how these challenging things are happening to few. And then we normally try to proactively plan our measurements, try to proactive plan our solution, so that the people will get a least uncomfortableness, or they have to change a very list in terms of this county. That's how this government plans ahead. Same thing to go with elections. In elections there are lots of movements from one place to another, there are lots of travels. How do you plan that thing? Plan early, try to understand a trend analysis, and then give it a result, or generate a business solution. And that way we can basically use data analysis at its best efficient manner. Same thing with transportation. In transportation there are many citizens who use smaller car, many citizens who like big luxury cars. These are more of a likings, these are more of a behavioral thing rather than the money in the bank, believe me. And this is a proven fact. Not every rich people will go for Lexus or BMW or Mercedes, but many rich people, they normally try to prefer smaller car, nowadays electrical car. Do they want to save on gas? Yes, definitely, and that's why they are rich. You save a lot, you basically try to earn a good deal, and that's how you normally try to understand how you can use the least possible resources to complete your enjoyment. And that's how you can be a richer. Even with a lesser money you can be a richer. If you read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, you will understand what you mean by to be a rich rather than a poor. Even a poor can be rich. Yeah, this is a kind of acronym you are talking about, but still the happiness counts, right? We are there to make ourselves happy, we are there to make ourselves satisfied. So gathering satisfaction doesn't require money. So if you have $15,000 in your bank, does that make you happy? No, you can still be a sad. It's just a mirage. That's how you think, right? So for that matter, how do you study these things? You study with the data. So what type of car do I need? Should I go with Dodge Neon? Should I go with Honda Civic Coupe? Should I go with Toyota Corolla, or should I go with Lexus? Should I go with BMW? Should I go with Ferrari? Well, there's endless scenario. Now in electrical thought process, should I go with a small electrical vehicle? If yes, then why shouldn't you? Because that will solve your problem. You are basically averted from that gas challenging prices, and so on and so forth. So that's the way we can plan ahead. Whatever vehicle we're going to plan next, we will study our trends, like how much I drive per day, so and so miles. Okay, then I don't require a really big car, because I normally hardly travel two or one person in my car. And in North America, believe me, in Canada as well, there are many persons who drive lonely. They normally just single person per car whenever they go. So there was a special initiative from government as well to start carpooling. So if you are going from point A to point B in St. Louis, I was a part of carpooling because I was working with Enterprise Rent a Car, and I used to visit a lot of places. So there I used to accompany with couple of my colleagues who might be working with Enterprise Rent a Car or adjacent office to go to a part A from the city to part B of the city. Like my office was in Clayton Road. It's a separate area called Corporate Drive for enterprise offices, and I used to travel to either Maplewood, Olive Gardens, and so on and so forth. There I used to drive, and we used to do a carpooling, and this saves lots of gas prices. And I got 2 awards from Enterprise Rent a Car to basically actively doing this carpooling. And this way we really enrich our life. And by this also allows you to travel together. You get to know various people, you get to be friend with many other people, you get to understand different aspects of even carpooling for that matter. And this way you keeps collecting data by unknowingly, and this basically makes your thought process much more enriched, much more detailed oriented in a step-by-step progressive manner. The more you know, the more you should be happy. If you're not happy, then you're not knowing it correctly, or you're at a wrong path, believe me. So unless you are not making your life easy day by day, you're not using your brain power. As simple as that. And this is told in various even religional script as well. So all our religions, we walk towards making ourselves happy, making ourselves really enjoying our life day by day. And same thing we're going to do with the data analysis. So what we do, we normally collect data, we clean the data, we align the data, and we process the data to make our life really, really easy. This is what the data analysis is all about. Be it something like government, transportation, banking, healthcare, and blah, blah, blah. Now let's talk about insurance. Insurance is basically a data-driven industry, same thing like banking and finance. What do you mean by data-driven industry? They thrive on data. So if you don't know your customer, you are in a soup. You can't serve them. So in insurance, you have to know the customer. You have to know his or her surrounding to give him or her a solution. Be it a auto insurance, be it a health insurance, be it any type of insurance. There are n number of insurance available as of today in North America and Caribbean region. Be it something like house insurance, be it something like bike insurance, car insurance, be it something like even body part insurance as well. So if you know the lady singer Mariah Carey, she have insured her tummy with $10 billion insurance. That's a kind of extreme case, but yes, and it was a true. The insurance policy have been drawn by State Farm, and these offices they have basically supplied her with a good number of doctors to make sure her tummy stays flat. She is in a showcase in showbiz industry, but this is how an extreme insurance industry can get if you have the correct data point. How this might have happened? Anybody want to guess? Anybody know about this tummy insurance thing? Have you read fashion magazines and all? Anybody?
No.
No? Oh, pardon me for that.
No.
Well, you can search on Google as well, and you'll get a really get satire on this also. But yes, it's a particularly targeted consumer behavior which they have leveraged for such a good business. For a $10 billion insurance, she might be at least paying, I believe, in the vicinity of 300K per year or something like that. At least I'm talking about, and that's my thought process. I have not seen the policy. It was also floated on the Instagram account and various even Twitter handles as well. But yes, and that's how these income, let's say 300K income for a state farm per yearly basis. These are the data points which we need to collect so that you can understand in depth how that business is working. And this is how progressively we keep building our data points, keep cleaning it, keep aligning with the business solution. And that's all analysis we do in terms of data analysis. Easy peasy, right? Anybody find it difficult now? That's good. No one. Now retail. Retail is one of the most prominent industry we interact almost daily basis. If you talk about Amazon, if you talk about Walmart, if you talk about Circuit City, if you talk about any retail store, even like 7-Eleven and all those things, they are already digitized up to a great extent. So whenever you purchase something on, let's say 7-Eleven, a gas station type of store, they also record who is purchased what and what time. So it's like Ravindra is traveling from St. Louis to Niagara Falls because his cousins are here. Then yes, they will track my progress from driving from St. Louis to Niagara Falls and in between. And they'll also basically check out on various insurance if I have already acquired or not, and so on and so forth. If I apply to a DMV saying, okay, my cousin will be also driving my car, then I need to basically, the insurance provider also calls me saying, hey, Ravindra, I believe your cousin Shailesh is also going to drive the car. So there'll be a $20 premium of you for this month. Could you play this in advance? Okay, yeah, I paid them $20 so that my cousin can also drive my car. And all are basically well protected, the driver and passenger and everything. And that's how this insurance industry get benefited from all these behavioral points. And how does retail industry? Well, I have a cards at Sam's Club, I have a cards at Circuit City, and all these stores, they are normally informed proactively on the way whenever I'm progressing from St. Louis to Niagara Falls. And there was a basically gift for me at a Walmart. I forgot the place name, and there was one of the Circuit City. They have gifted me a Wi-Fi. That Wi-Fi radio, right? which can be communicated within the I think vicinity of 50 meters or 100 meters or something like that. So it belongs to Siemens. It was supposed to cost around $80, but they gave me free of cost because I'm a really great value member of Circuit City from last good number of years. And this is how the consumer behavior or the retail industry do works effectively. Now, when they give me $80, they know they can earn profit more than $80 within a year from me as a consumer, or I might suggest good number of consumers, other consumers not going to Circuit City but going to Radio Shack. Please go to Circuit City, and so on and so forth. So they are basically building a brand for them as well. So this way, the retail industry have the most benefited from this consumer behavior or the trend analysis type of concept of a data analysis. Now, this is how data analysis are building solution, pardon me, and helping many consumers to make sure their life gets easier day by day. As far as my personal life goes, how I make it easier? Start building to-do list. Start understanding what's the best way to plan my day ahead so that I'll be much satisfied. I have much more better quality time at my disposal, or I'll not be fiddling around or doing tactical measures to get the things done. I might plan it strategically well ahead of time, and this is how we normally go ahead with the step-by-step data analysis way. This is how we normally make our life easier day by day. Does that make sense to you? Anybody have any confusion at this time? Have I confused you more, or
Little doubt.
go ahead, please, ma'am. Please don't stop yourself. Please go ahead.
Is there any difference between data analysis and data analytics?
Okay, data analysis is a process, analytic is a technique or a method. Same thing. One is actual, process we normally study. Analytics is basically what are the result expected or what are the methods and tools you are using. Does that answer your question, ma'am?
Yeah, yes, sir.
We're going to study both of these things in a step-by-step way. Okay, don't worry. We're going to do a hands-on practice in data analysis as a process, and what are the tools and techniques we are using in data analytics. Analytics is basically how you've done it. Okay, it's like kind of mostly past tense, but which tools and which techniques have you used so that next time you are ready with the tools and techniques, or you might revise it before starting working on that data analysis process again. Okay, yes. Anybody else have any question? Please don't stop yourself. If you have any question, how silly it can be, do ask so that you are comfortable in learning these new thought processes. No, okay, let's move on to the next slide, and they'll basically, oh, come on. Now let's try to understand how we implement these data analysts in real day-to-day world. Let's try to understand a couple of case studies, okay? And this will basically measure what I do in terms of data analysis. There could be some words which you might have not heard or might have not came across till this point, but still, we are actually venturing into learning how data analysis is done and how it helps the business. So what we do, we use technology, we use mathematics to generate business solutions on all. And there are these three circles. Wherever they interact, we normally have data analysis, have a data solution where this business is going to get profit from technology as well as mathematics. If you can see Mr. Suit here, he is basically guiding you how the data is and what are the trends in the data with the line graph. The bar graph on the top, the orange bar graph clearly basically are the collected data points, and the line graphs are basically the trend analysis point. And these are the few words which you're going to learn. The bar chart, because we are using bars in that chart. The line graph, because we are using the line, graph, lines to date the progression of the data month by month, week by week, or day by day, as per the need needed by the business. And that's how we do everything to help business solve their problem with all the data analysis technique using latest technology like Excel, Tableau, and there are a number of tools available. Some mathematical techniques like trend analysis, statistical analysis, median analysis, maximum analysis, and so on and so forth. We're going to learn all these things in a step-by-step manner. Okay, now let me play a small video where I'll try to make sure we understand how we do this analysis, or how we can basically start